This is the Levels Network. I'm Justin Horo, joined by the Triple OG, Willie Mason. OG, It is finals elimination time. It is on. Finals week 2, mate, and I am pumped.
These games are hard, man. These games are hard. You compare it to the last week. You know, the top 4 teams, you know, they know in the back of their head subconsciously, we've got next week, we'll fix it next week. But you got a losing mentality, right? These guys are coming from the winner's circle. Winning is momentum, right? So it's
Who's
momentum
got the advantage
now.
then? The teams that had a better season?
I think Manly's got the advantage. We'll break those games down.
Yep.
The ones that went on a good, hard, tough win, which are both these guys that come in, and those other guys, the top 4 teams, got pumped.
Yeah.
Pretty convincingly.
So let's go back to last year. I'm going to take you back to last year. Same thing happened to the Warriors.
Yep.
And who else finished 4th? And they got dusted by both the Panthers and the Broncos.
CRONULLA, I think. Did CRONULLA?
Was it CRONULLA?
CRONULLA went bang bang.
Oh yeah, CRONULLA did go bang.
Yeah.
Bang. Are you sure?
Well, they haven't won a finals game.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, well, so they've got the obvious psychological battle that the Sharks are playing with now is being well documented.
It is, mate. It is.
The Warriors were able to bounce back after a really humbling loss to Penrith, but that was without Sean Johnson, remember?
Yeah.
So then Shawnee comes back in. He's a big boost for them when they play the Knights.
But you can deal with the loss against Penrith because a lot of teams do.
Well, at that time, though,
you know what I mean? Like
the Broncos was very similar to the way we view Melbourne now. Like the Broncos were humming, they were flying, they looked unbeatable, they looked like a genuine contender.
Just looks like last year. Looks like 2 of the best teams are going to get in the grand final.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think it's going to be like. I think Manly might be able to jag their way into a grand final. Maybe.
Can you remember any sort of big week 2 games? It's a different format when we played. Right?
Oh yeah, like we lost our first final.
Yeah.
We got beat by North Queensland. Fucking, we finished 2nd. They come 7th. They beat us.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What year?
Year 2004.
Oh bullshit.
Yeah. They come over. Matty Singh fucking jumped over
That's right.
Jumped over Matty Utah's head. Just sat on his shoulders for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, Matty Singh had a day out.
He was like fucking Warwick Kappa. He Warwick Kappa, Matty Utah. So yeah, and then we really had to go, shit, what's happening here? Then we had to go the hard route. Then we had to go to Melbourne. Then we had to do Melbourne. Then we had to do Penrith. And then we had to go to the grand final. So it was a hard route. But momentum is key.
Yeah.
But in saying that, you still don't mind a week off.
Yeah, for sure.
Because back then, because it was the McAvaney system or something like that. I forget what it's called. something.
Yeah.
Macassini Richter. It was the Macassini Richter. McIntyre system. 1 verse 8, for 2nd verse 7th, all that sort of shit. So there's a couple of 2 years, I think we finished 2nd.
Yeah.
We got bang bang.
Yeah.
St George got us in 2001, 2002. We missed out because we were over the cap by about $3. And then 2003 prelim, 4 we got beat, 5 injured. Yeah, it's fucking. It was a weird system. You know, a couple of those times when we were a top 4 team and we the second bite of the cherry means a lot, and it rewards consistency.
Yeah,
I love what they've done.
Yeah. Yeah, so do I.
Just a little tweak. Just a little tweak.
I like the system now.
Yeah.
You know what I like what BSC are doing, mate? BSC are making it easier for us to get the cans. They're now, or they have been, they're available at 7-Eleven, mate. So,
really?
Yeah, if the punters want to, on their way to work, stopping in at...
all the tradies stop at 7-Eleven.
They're all at 7-Eleven. And they're getting their BSC cans.
Stay away from the Krispy Kremes, boys.
Yeah.
Just stay away. Get the energy drink.
This is the treat that you need. You want to give yourself a little bit of a perk. You got a long day. And maybe you go and grab one during Smoko as well. You probably got a 7-Eleven near you in Smoko.
I'd be pumping 3 into me if I was a tradie.
Speaking about pumping it into him, we got a reply from Clark Kent.
I think he hit me on Instagram.
God damn, Big Willie came after me on this one. Apologies, big fella. I'll fly back into my cave, laughing emojis. And then Fezza jumped on board and said, and that's why you're Clark Kent and not Superman.
And there was no like, I don't hate you at all. I'm just trying to.
You were pissed off.
Explain my point because you got to understand what these guys have done for the game.
Yep.
And if they choose to have a break, just let them.
Yes.
Let them. And who knows if they're not? Who knows what they're going to do?
Yeah.
You know.
I might fire you up again because I will say before we get to this point as well, like we were talking about this off the back of a comment. We don't even know if the boys are resting. We don't know if they are. We just said we would understand it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get you fired up again, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this one. This one's from EJ Smith, and he is actually, I guess, supporting Clark Kent.
Yeah.
He goes, it's more that Mace and you were given the green light on taking the holiday for the wedding, but if it were the Kangaroos playing in Northern England and it was Cleary, Yo, Edwards and Martin who were going to miss it for a wedding, you'd both be questioning their commitment and likely be pissed off them not repping Oz. Oh, no. Same goes for the Samoan fans. Lua, Cridai and the boys have done so much for the Samoan jersey. That's why it means so much to the fans to see Samoa go to England and compete instead of taking a young group and get beat. I haven't spoke to you about this, but answer on behalf of us.
100%. I would have no problem with those guys because of the amount of work that they've done for Penrith and for the Australian team and for New South Wales.
Agreed.
If they choose to have that time off, you talk about longevity, guys. You know what I mean? Like these guys have got like a 7 to 8 year, 9 year window in that Aussie jersey. You know, like they've had big runs into obviously winning grand finals, winning Origins. If they chose to have a rest right now in their career, right now, 3 years ago, no.
Let's clarify one thing. Are we telling them to have a break?
No.
Do we understand if they would want to have a break?
Yes.
Yes. Does it matter
Does
it matter if it's New Zealand, Australia, Samoa, Tonga?
As long as you put the work in. As long as you put the work in. If you've put the work in like the Samoan brothers have a rest. If you've got a wedding, a very important thing to go, you can do with it. It's family first, brotherhood first, all that. And same goes to the Aussies, same goes to the Pommies, same goes to the Kiwis.
And
but you've got to put that work in. Those guys have put it in.
And my one is specifically around I want to grow the international game. My understanding of these boys and wanting to have a break is there have been a number of teams or a number of players that have played big minutes. I would be more understanding of, I don't care what country it is, anyone that's played for Penrith. Because basically, they've played all the way to grand final day and they could play all the way to grand final day 5 years in a row. You do not understand how hard it is to play an NRL season, how banged up you are. I would have loved to have represented my country. I never got the opportunity. But these boys have represented their country. They've had deep finals runs. They've played origin footy. And if they decide that they're a bit banged up and they just want to have this season off, then I don't care if it's Australia. I don't care if it's New Zealand. I don't care if it's Fisher Harris for New Zealand, even though I'd love to see Fish play. I don't care if it's Leota. I don't care if it's the boys from Samoa. I don't care if it's Dylan Edwards for Penrith, even though he hasn't played a shitload of tests for Australia. Those Penrith players have played so much footy in the last couple of years, I would fully understand it. But then also, as a spectator, I for sure want to see all the best players play for international footy.
Of course you do. You couldn't have said it any better, but don't forget the Origins. Do not forget the Origins. They're 3 of the hardest games you can play in your whole career, smack bang in the middle of the year. That takes careers. That takes years off your career. And they've been doing that for 5 or 6 years now. It's a fucking long time, man. So if they choose to go, okay, we want to go to Critter's wedding because that's a brotherhood they've built out there, man. They are brothers. They're brothers for life. They're not just fair, we're just mates just for a couple of years because you're pretty much like you have acquaintances when you play, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone's trying to build a team camaraderie and act like everyone's best mates, but at the end of the day, you're there for the same reason to win comps. Like I knew seriously when I was playing who I was going to hang out with. Yeah, and they're still my mates. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So like those guys are going to be mates and brothers forever.
For sure.
So like and we're only pretty much talking about the Penrith boys because I know how much football they've played, what they've put into the game, whether it be the New Zealand game, Samoan game, Fijian game, or every single aspect. There was only one player out of the fucking Pacific Nations last year. Come on, man.
No, it was the World Cup.
The World Cup, yeah.
It was Dylan Edwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he probably should have been in it. You know what I mean? So like, just give these guys if it's 1 year.
Yep.
It's just it's a Pacific nation. I guess I get it. We want to grow the international game, right? If it's a World Cup year, I don't think they're going to miss out on a World Cup year.
No.
But you keep throwing these little competitions at them, they're like, that's just more football. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I get it, man. I get it. So if you're a fan, I'm a big fan, but hey, next man up mentality. You can usually name 3 Australian sides.
Yeah.
The Samoan game it's at It's at its best. There's some young brothers coming through.
For sure.
Tonga's
I
young
like the
brothers
depth
coming
of Samoa
through.
and Tonga at
England's
the moment.
coming through. Everyone's pretty strong at the moment. Guess who won it last year? 30-0. 30-0.
Yeah, the Kiwis.
The Kiwis. Exactly. So let's just ease up on the play. I want to see the best players, but just ease up on that.
Yep, and that's enough of that, and that's sort of come out of nowhere.
And I get that's just the way I talk. I don't have any animosity with those guys that I answer the questions. I love you. I appreciate the questions. They're good questions, and they're just my answers.
Yep, and sometimes it's just good for us to because there might be some people out there like, oh yeah, asking the question. I thought you were going to be a little bit more aggressive towards EJ, but you handled it.
No, really well. I mean, he just needs to understand. It's got to put it in perspective, right?
Yeah. All right. Those are a couple of the guys that for sure have subscribed to the podcast already.
Clark Kent, I'll have a beer with you one day and we'll talk about a lot of shit.
How good's that? You're back. He also said he's a big fan, and the only reason he listens to the show is because of you. So that's
mate. I mean, if we ever run into each other, if we're anywhere, we'll have a beer and we'll have a proper chat.
Yeah, and that was also like
a
nice little backhander to me too on the way. He only listens to it because of you. 29,000 YouTube subscribers. Woo! Let's get to 30. Instagram 45.8. TikTok 74.5, growing at 1,000 per week, flying. And remember to leave us a review on Apple and Spotify, please. Lukey wasn't happy. We didn't get to 1,000, did we, Lukey? Last episode.
Oh, sorry.
Furious.
I just saw one of those questions.
Let's get 1,000 likes. Here we go. And this is why we love
we didn't fucking write this shit up.
This is why we love our listeners. There's a dig at Rennie and there's a dig at me. The first one is at Rennie Matua. And it's from Jyalat. Hey lads, love the podcast. Can you tell me who the shortest NRL player you've played with? Because I'm 5'7" and I got a photo with Rennie Matua and I didn't realise we are the same. Cheers.
That's going to cut Rennie.
That's a good one.
He's at least 5'10". He knows that.
He said you've been answering the phone 6'1".
6'1" Rennie Matua.
I love it.
Shortest player that I've played with.
Matty Bowen?
Yeah, probably Mango.
Yeah.
Mango's about that.
Yeah.
But he makes up for it in other facets of his game. Probably one of the quickest, most agile players, talented.
How tall you reckon Matty Bowen?
I think he's about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I have a look at that while we go through?
No. Who was he? Played for Shannon Gallant. Shannon Gallant was up there at North Queensland, and when Mango was injured, he was playing fullback, and he's shorter than he's doing some good things out at Western Sydney. He's doing some coaching and everything.
I think he's doing with the Tigers.
Yeah, he's really good.
So 1.72 centimeters from Lukey. Can you look up
Shannon Gallant, man?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
That's who I played with. I played with him 1 year up in the Cowboys, and he's smaller than Mango. Yeah, I think Mango's probably
exactly the same. 1.72.
No, he's shorter.
Yeah, they had a bit of GST. Some of the boys don't they?
And I reckon he's gotten shorter.
I reckon for sure my one is Rennie, so I'll stick with Rennie.
Sweet.
Rennie's
Straight
the shortest one. This is off the back of the people were loving the 200 game shout too, by the way, Moose. And off the back of it, a light that never goes out wrote 300 plus gamers should get 2 tickets to every year. That way DCE can take his great mate Scope.
Why not?
Bang, I'm there.
Why not?
I'm with you, OG.
In a suite, we'll all just sit there and just have a good laugh. Mate, and I think that's great. I think a lot of players, I think you just had to bring that into light, really. I don't think most players didn't know that the AFL were doing that.
Yeah, I wasn't aware for sure, yeah.
So, that was the...
and a number of fans would love the idea of like if you could buy tickets.
Corey McKernan. Corey McKernan says that. He's just like, I can't believe that you guys aren't doing that. I said... Just imagine if you had a whole suite up there, the amount of like stuff up there, you can all the suites there. Just go, okay, you can hang out with all the 200 gamers, the 300 gamers, the grand final winners, and you pay money to get into that box.
The tab suite that we're at last year.
The tab suite last year was one of the best.
What's the capacity of the suite?
They're tiny. Like but you got chairman's lounges and stuff like that up there, which hold. There's hundreds, hundreds of people, and you're sitting you're right on halfway and everything like that.
So when
there's a place to do that. Yeah, I've done a lot of those things, a lot of talks and everything like that. But
do you reckon they could fit 250, 300 in there?
Yeah, you could if you sold it right, and if you go, okay, you're going to be with all the the grand final winners, 300 gamers, 200 gamers, 250 gamers, all that kind of stuff. Clive Churchill winners, blah, blah, blah. They're
not all the grand final winners, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Guys that,
of course.
200 gamers plus.
And you've got to have. There's something that they can have there. Yep. So, and you get 200 people there easy.
Yep. Hey lads, this one's from Jimmy Reed, L1 from day one. On the back of the NICHO chat, can you get Lukey to show you the 9 clip of Gus? Have you seen this yet, Mace? No. Actually, and I'll paraphrase it for you. Basically, I didn't see Gal talking about his skill set for an Elite 7. I'd love your take on the opinions about him. They both clearly want the best for him and weren't bashing him, but I thought they had a lot of merit about him. So Gus brought up the analogy or comparisons with Shane Warne, right? And he said the one thing
I did see a little bit of it, just
really good. Really good, and I think Gus is obviously one of the best thinkers going out there. But he basically was comparing it to when Warney had all the tricks in the bag, like he had the flipper, the wrong end, whatever it may be. But if the conditions weren't great and the pitch wasn't turning, he'd just keep hitting you with this leg break over and over and tie you down and fatigue you out and eventually get a wicket or slow down the run rate. And that was the comparison with NICHO. He reckons he's got all the tricks in the bag, but NICHO's just missing something that if it's not happening offensively, not scoring points, he doesn't have, like, he's got the flipper, he's got the wrong end, he's got all that.
Yeah.
But when he's, what's something that, and I was thinking about it too, and I agree with Gus. I don't really think, I couldn't think of a thing where NICHO does where you're like, and I've got another example for you too, where NICHO does it and it's like, oh, that's what NICHO does best. Like, I reckon NICHO.
I think he's predicated on his running game.
So you think that's his best asset?
I think that's his best asset. His running game, when they can split a 6-4 and he can sit on that. He can sit on that long short side
and roll short
and
side.
he can just go bang and he can just go. He can. When I said his ability now, his inability to beat the markers and really fucked because of his injury, because he can't get out of the blocks at 100%, right?
Gotcha.
So before, when he could just sit behind there and then just bang, he would see a short side, he'd just dummy in, he'd skip over to B and then bang Ramian's into holes, Teague Hilton and all these blokes who just Wilton, fucking Nikita, all those guys, they're just doing their job, pushing in. Like, I think that's his best game.
Yeah, now that you said that, I reckon the year that they were successful was shape to shape to shape. They would move it sideways.
You just go everywhere.
And then once he identified maybe a middle down a short side, you think about some of those long range breaks that they made. Yeah, I feel like you're right. That was probably his best weapon.
And even just say if he was on that short side, just say they broke it down on the right side of the post on the outside hash line.
Yep.
He would just sprint and be the tip out the back and then another lead and then out the back and then they'll skin him on the edge.
Yeah.
He'd just make that extra number.
Yeah.
But that's because he's fast and he's fit and he was just going.
Yeah, gotcha. So he's unable to do that right now.
He's unable to do that right now.
Okay.
Unless maybe he needed that one more week just to go, okay, all right, I got through this week. Now I'm all right. I'm fit, mentally there. Now I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Right? And that's it. His whole game is predicated on his running game, mate.
Yep.
He's not his defense. He started the year off. His defense was spot on. He worked on his defense. Fitzy's one of the best defensive coaches in the game. Daniel Holsworth slept on as a fucking coach, as an attacking coach. DJ was one of the smartest blokes I've played with. He was a great 5'8". He just in an era where there was fucking Trent Barretts and Freddie Fittlers and all that kind of stuff and Darren Lockyer and all that. He had a solid
career, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a solid career, but he was smart. Yeah. His IQ is up there, so he'd be teaching NICHO all these little tricks of the trade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like NICHO just needs to get back into his running game. Kick good, lead the kick chase, do your tackles, don't overplay your hand.
Yeah.
Because unless he can come out and get 90% out of his body, he'll be able to do those plays that I was just saying.
Yeah, okay. When you think about some of the other guys, I've got some examples for you. See if you agree with me on this. Like going back to Gus's comparison with Warney.
Yeah.
If Munster is not, skinning them with dropping people underneath and not coming up with a beautiful play on his edge. He just runs the ball, mate, and he runs it direct in and behind the ruck, and he'll just try to create momentum that way to get his forwards on the front foot, and he kick chases really hard. Yeah. That's how he gets himself into the game.
Little things like that.
With Cherry will kick his way to death. Like if he's struggling and the team's not on the front foot, Cherry will look for a kick to get him into rhythm. And he also loves to get in when things aren't going right for him. Just say if they've lost momentum, he'll get in for a scoot. That's something that I noticed with Cherry. And I reckon with Nath, and I'm using these guys because they're
they're current players.
Three of the biggest stars in the game. Yeah. I reckon Nath, when it's not happening for him, with what we talked about over the weekend, defensively, Nath goes after.
He goes after, yeah.
Nath tries to bash people, and then therefore that's his leg break.
Yeah.
Like those are those. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that because he just come out and they go, "What are you going to do, Nath?" I'm going to come out and just bash everyone in the first couple of sets to show everyone that I'm back and I can do it. So that's where NICHO needs to go. Okay, what's my message and how do I show everyone that I'm on?
Yeah. What's my leg break?
What's my leg break? What's my flipper?
Yeah.
Do I go shorts? Do I tack? Do I just get the ball? Do I do a Munster and just go, oi, just tuck it?
Yeah.
I think Munster can do that. You know why? He's one of the strongest motherfuckers in the comp.
Yeah.
Not many people can hit him, and he's quick, and he'll get in between. He runs at spaces, not faces.
That's his signature though, right?
Yeah, bro. I love mate. He's always been like that, bud.
Yeah.
It's like that young kid that strange kid from
he's got
from Canberra. He's got that because he's strong.
Yeah.
NICHO, he needs to back himself. But when you have a foot injury, you have that lack of drive. Bang, you can't get through. But even Money coming through with that groin injury, he ain't looking like, you know what I mean? But he's got that now. You know what I mean? Like, but it's the perception, right? Where forwards are looking at it going, fuck yeah. NICHO just took one off the ruck.
Yeah.
Bang. I need to do that shit. I need to do that. He's kicking, he's chasing, he's the first one down there. I got to be like that.
Yep.
NICHO's out for 8 to 10 weeks. He's there. He holds a lot of energy in that team, right? He has a lot of energy. And they all go off how he's going, man. If he's going around, if his body language is fucking all over the place and everything, they tend to follow that. They don't need that. He needs to be tip-top in everything. Just the little things. We're not expecting you to have a 10 out of 10 game, but I'm expecting a 7 out of 10 minimum for a Dally M player and a person of his caliber, player of his caliber. So if he can just sit at a 7 out of 10, and then something will come off because he's got that brilliance.
Yeah, he does
Back
have
yourself, son.
Yeah. All right, mate, this one is from Calypso Hindmarsh. Was in the hostel at Rotorua Boys with Will Warbrick. We were talking about Will Warbrick on the last show. Was never a superstar at school, wasn't in the first 15, but was always training after school. There was a lot more superstars in school that he outworked to achieve everything that he has now. Mad respect for Willie. Love the Potty Boys.
Love that. Love that. That's a great message to any kid coming through. New Zealand, Australia, England, anyone, man. It's just hard work. Hard work always beats talent. If talent doesn't want to work, they always say that. If you have talent and hard work, that means you'll get to the top, mate.
So many young kids that I played with that were touted to be your superstars, but then there were guys that just swept in around the 19s, 20s and just been working their ass off. So it's another great example.
It's always say to doing the pathways now, how many 16, 17-year-olds you see playing first grade? None, right? Talk to me when you're 18, 19, 20, and then you know where you sit.
Yeah,
you're playing against men. Then you're playing against if you're one of the best in the league. And this is the apprenticeship that you need to do right now. Is from like your 17 to like 17, 18, 19, 20 is the hardest part of your career. It's being disciplined, right? It's sacrificing a lot. It's creating the right habits. Like you're getting taught by some of the greats in every single club. There's always great players in the pathways now.
Yep.
You got Chocky Watmow over there. You've got all these players in every club. They're all from our sort of era because we've got experience and we've been through that before. We were that 17-year-old kid brought down from fucking Toronto West. I was that. I've lived that, right? I've been at the back of Belmore working my ass off, right? These kids need to understand that. All they see is the end result. They just think this is the natural progression just for me to get to first grade. Nah, son, we'll give you 2 or 3 years. If you ain't what we think you're going to be, next. So you got to really focus on your career right now. If you want in, you got to be all in with the right things. You know what I mean? You got to sacrifice a lot of shit, a lot of social stuff with your friends, create the right habits, listen to the right people, have the right people surrounding you, and you got to work hard. You've got to work harder than everyone else. I always say this to the kids, right? If you're in school, you just get the curriculum, the government's curriculum.
Yep.
If you want to be smart, we're going to do. You're going to study, you're going to do extras, you're going to do all that kind of stuff. We're giving you the basic curriculum for the pathways, right?
Yeah.
If you want to work hard and work on your game, You go and source that shit out from the coaches. Oh, Mace, I want to work on this, 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 and this. Hey, Ogre. Hey, Jackson. Hey, Chucky Watmouth. I need to work on line running or defense or fitness or this and that. Ask questions and we will give you everything you need.
What about guys that aren't in pathway systems, like guys like a Will WARBRICK?
You just keep fucking working hard, and you can still outsource. Gone are the days when we were 15. Who are we going to outsource? No one.
Yeah,
because they weren't pros. They were still bricklayers and shit, and playing part-time football, but then playing Winfield Cup. You know what I mean? But now you've got guys like us who have just been. We don't know anything but be pros.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of us out there that are willing. If you outsource the right people, like Benny Roberts does some great things, mate. Great things.
Todd Carney
they're looking. Jared Mullen.
Looking at doing it in New Zealand.
Jared Mullen. All these guys are out there because parents know how important it is to do that extra work. Okay, you're not in the system. Well, guess what? These guys have been in the system for 10 plus years. They know what's going on. So if you're a parent, outsource. I train a couple of kids only because I fucking want to, and I get bored. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I got time. Sometimes I got time. I'm like, all right, come over. I'll just teach you everything. Yeah. Right? If you want to, and these kids, I'm not saying these kids are going to be superstars, but they want to have a train, they want to do all this stuff. I'll give you everything I got, right? But you got to outsource it. And there's a lot of players out there that are doing some businesses, and if you're not in the system, and even if you are in the system, you still need extra help.
Agreed. Well said. This one's from John Crawford. Great show. As usual, boys, come across some old Schoolboy Arrive Alive Cup footage of the scope.
Hey!
The shed over the weekend. I'll send it through. Yeah, send that through. Some good days playing. That's when I first actually started getting some confidence with Schoolboy footy.
Serious?
If he can get down to his Schoolboy weight, he'll knock out the marathon in under 3 hours. Anyway.
What do you want to get 80 kilo or something?
Oh yeah, I went from high school. So in high school, I was a centre. I would have been 80 kilos.
Yeah, I was centre too.
Max. And then I put on like 10 kilos, 10, 15 kilos in the year of 19 and just eating shit food too, like bad weight. And then they pushed me into the back row.
I was a centre fullback. I was a centre fullback wing.
Yeah.
From under 6s all the way to under 16s. And I grew from 96 into 97. I think it was about 95 kilo and 6'2" to 6'5" and 115 kilos.
Yeah, that's why me and you both understand what it's like defending our wide end.
Yeah. We understand schemes and everything like that. Me and the great Anthony Minicello marked each other in under 12s.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Under 12s at Lowell Peacock. He was on the wing. I was on the other wing.
Imagine how many times you've told that on a Larry used to.
Oh, mate. And I carved him up. And he says he carved me up. I think we both played awful.
Anyway, your chat about Cleary passing CRONK got me thinking, who has the better three-peat? It's got me thinking as well, straight away when I see this. Obviously, if Cleary goes 4 this year, he will win. But as it stands, Cleary, 3 with the same team in the early 20s, even before he's reached his peak, or Cronk's 3 into retirement. He had 1 with Melbourne and then went over and got 2 with the Chooks.
17, 18, 19.
Yep. Beating his old club in one of them.
He did too, the bastard.
I've totally...
I forgot that.
I don't think that gets mentioned enough.
Fuck.
Yeah, so he got his own three-peat.
Damn.
Keep the good stuff coming up. Let's go Perth Bears. So, is it more impressive Nathan doing it so early? Like Nathan's only 26, 27 already? Or like Cooper CRONK doing it in the twilight of his career and then also getting a three-peat with 2 clubs?
Yeah, he was a bit of a passenger for his last 2.
Well, definitely one of them.
Yeah, but like they had a great
passengers.
Not passenger, but like he wasn't doing Cleary shit. He wasn't doing Cleary stuff. What Cleary did last year.
Which one was he injured in? 18 or 19? 19. So well and truly wasn't
busted
Cleary
in both.
Yeah,
he'd be busted in both. And that's not his fault. He's still like that personifies him as a game manager. He's still got through the game, kicked him into spots, and just say the year before, the reason why they got rid of Piercy is because he couldn't get to those positions, right?
Well, you could argue that that's more impressive at that point of his age, with injuries still winning comps as well.
It's impressive both. Yeah. I just don't know which, because I think Cleary's. I can't get that 20 minutes out of my head of dominance and just put the whole Penrith on his back and dominate. Like, I've never seen it like that. I've never seen anyone play like that. And so therefore I'm just going to give it to Cleary. And I know he's young. I mean, like Cooper CRONK. Cooper CRONK's won six premierships. I don't give a shit if the NRL's taken those 2 off him. He's won 6.
So the Melbourne won 7. Who did they beat in 17 again?
Cowboys.
That's right. Yeah. So that was a That was a great effort by the Cowboys, but that was without JT. That was the Michael Morgan, Jason Tomalolo grand final, wasn't it? And then 18-19. Fuck, that's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah, both impressive. I'm just going to give it to Cleary because, like, just because of that 20 minutes what he did last year, I don't think anyone's going to replicate that again. Cooper Cronk, him and Cooper Cronk are very similar players, very similar. But I think Cleary's just got him just because of that fucking 20 minutes. I haven't seen anything like that, mate. That was just pure dominance. And I think that they're very similar as players. They're both great defenders, great kickers of the game, great minds of the game, great ball runners.
Cooper was a pain in the ass.
Coops was a fucking arsehole as a defender.
Yeah,
he used to get under you, talk some shit too.
Yeah.
He used to talk his shit.
Yeah. He read the play really well. He used to chop me all the time before I got the ball.
Right.
Yeah,
Cooper Cronk's the top 5 halfback of all time.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think he gets his flowers enough because
he doesn't get his flowers defensively.
I don't know why. I don't know why they don't, because he's won 2 Dally M's. He's won everything in the world. He's played 300 something games. He just wasn't your traditional Andrew Johns JT.
I just think he
wasn't in that mold.
I just think he was because he was in the JT era.
And he was in the 3 of the best systems ever in the world in rugby league. You know, like the Melbourne Storm, fucking Queensland, New South Wales, and Queensland, Australia. Like, he hardly ever got beat. He just did his job and he did it the best. And I think he's just slept on because he played with the Cam Smiths and everything. But hey, he's up there with me. It's just only he's a top 3 halfback only because the only one that's chasing, the one that's going to take his spot is Cleary, because he's got another 6 or 7 years at his peak.
Look at this, look at some of these stats. So he won. He won 87% of his Anzac Test. Yeah. So he played
38.
Played 8, won 7 of them. He was 10 from 10 at the World Cup, which is understandable.
As I said, when you play for Australia and stuff like that, you rarely get beat, right?
71% at NRL level in 372 games. That is unbelievable.
Yeah,
him and Cam with those numbers.
It's disgusting. And Bill.
NRL finals, 71% of the games he won. Crazy.
So good, mate.
And All-Stars, 100%, 1 from 1. Anyway.
I got pumped in, mate.
This one's from Rogue Lemon. Question.
Lemon?
Rogue Lemon. We're talking about some players potentially becoming available. Would Ben Hunt be the answer for Newcastle? I think both Ponga and Hunt are playing in one-man teams. I'll say this respectfully. That's not my opinion. I know there are some good performers in both teams, but they do handle a lot of the burden, therefore a lot of the success, and get, like we were talking about before with Ponga. Those two together, it either...
I like that.
Do you think you could see a world in which Ben Hunt... Because Ben Hunt is apparently his...
Depends on this.
Well, they've removed... They were trying to sign Ben Hunt for 2026 onwards, and apparently that contract was pulled back.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'll be looking at that closely.
Ben Hunt would be
how old is he going to be? Is this for next year?
Yeah, this would be for not for next year. It'd have to be the year after.
Fucking how old is he going to be there? He's 36.
Yeah, he's the same age as Ches, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Hunty, that's a bit. He might be.
Yeah, Hunty's 34 now, so he'd be 36 by the time he gets there.
Could be wrapping it by then.
He doesn't really look like he's slowing down, Hunty. Same as Ches.
No, I mean, it's just because they
look after their body.
They look after their body. They're pretty. They're very durable. They play the game tough. Ben Hunt would be a great fit for a year or two up there. Not long.
I reckon Hunty, after this contract, if he is done at the Dragons, will give him an opportunity to play one more somewhere and see if he can win a comp.
That would be really good if he could go next year.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're willing to do that.
Who knows? It's sure, hypothetical.
Because, I think that the Knights are getting rid of a lot of deadwood up there, and just say if St George come to the party a little bit and give you 500, and then you give him like maybe another 500, or you give him a Hastings contract, bang bang.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
Hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
Talk more if they linked up. This
Sam
one
Walker sounds better.
Sam Walk, yeah, long term, that sounds a lot better. The West Tigers have released a bizarre statement congratulating former halfback Luke Brooks on breaking his finals drought, and it is fair to say the decision has been met with backlash. So, West Tigers wish to congratulate former halfback Luke Brooks on his achievements over the weekend for Manly. Although he did not play finals footy in his time at the Tigers, Brooks certainly enjoyed his first taste of finals, 24-22. West Tigers CEO Shane Richardson also chimed in publicly congratulating Brooks on the win, adding he showed loyalty when many didn't. Bit of a dig at some. And on behalf of everyone here at Tigers, congratulate him. Luke spent more than a decade as a West Tigers player, so he will always be part of the family. Thoughts on this?
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either.
I don't hate it. It's
I
good.
thought you would hate it.
No, I'm just like, well, he's obviously held in high regard at the Tigers. Like, he was respected and he was there through the shit, and he stayed there, and it says exactly what he did. So, like,
you've thrown me off here. I thought you were going to go.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad that they did that. Like, I don't know. I have no problem. What sort of person would have a problem with those guys saying thanks for your work and well done for Manly?
Oh, like, you know, all the punters and that are talking about the Tigers. I reckon it's
because the punters are punters and they don't know the inside goss, mate, like these guys do. What he stayed for and everything like that, and what he's been through, and then how hard the decision was to probably leave. He didn't want to leave.
Yeah, I think it shows a lot of class from
a lot of class.
The Tigers.
I like that.
And I'm glad that he's been recognised from a team that he did, you know, for whatever reasons, it didn't work out for him there, and there are a number of reasons, but was in there for the long haul, and he'll be remembered as a West Tigers player for a long time.
He stayed there, and he copped a lot of shit, mate, a lot of stuff, man, when he was playing. So to get over there, he's won his first finals game. He gets on to the second week of the finals. Well, that's just it shows a lot of humility for Shane Richardson, and for him. He didn't have to say this.
Yeah, you've thrown me off here because I thought I was going to stick up for Shane Richardson.
I don't know. Why would I bag him?
No, not bag him. I don't know.
Why would I against it?
The consensus for a lot of people has been like,
he left us.
No. It shows like, you know, the Tigers haven't been finals. Why are they celebrating? People have brought up examples of, you know, other players that have gone on to other teams, but Luke Brooks was a one-club player for 10 plus years, went through this drought, didn't play finals, and just got battered pillar to post
Moses
for a long
left,
time.
Teddy left, they all left him there with everything.
Less about like that.
No, I'm just saying, but he stayed through that. He stayed through it all.
Yeah.
Thought, you know, like, going to get more help, didn't work, going to get more help, signed a big deal, all this kind of stuff.
New coaches.
New staff, 3 or 4 coaches, all this shit for a young player. Wasted his prime there, and then they're like, you know what, fucking sorry, but well done on this.
Yeah, well done. Get a finals win.
Get a finals win, mate. Well done.
He's 100% too, by the way, now. Finals record.
Just retire.
How good's that? Same as Cooper CRONK in the All-Stars.
Retire. He's exactly like Cooper CRONK.
This one's another interesting one. The Rabbitohs have announced the signing of former Seagull star Josh Schuster, handing the exiled forward a 1-year deal.
Like
the 23-year-old. 23, Shuey.
23's a baby.
Was released from the final 3 years of his Manly contract. He played 50 games for the Eagles after debuting in 2020.
Did you get his jersey?
50 games. No, you can't.
Yeah, you should have.
I don't think they get jerseys for 50, but they get the recognition through the video. Let's not get down there.
I was just trying to get you. Yep.
Thoughts on this? Can Uncle Wayne
turn around if anyone can? It's just it's Wayne Bennett. He's going to go there. He's going to respect Wayne. He's going to do everything that Wayne says. He's going to trust him. And obviously, Wayne's had meetings with him. Wants to know where his head's at. He's going to have like a lot of things that he needs to get to before he even considers him for first grade. Coming back in shape.
What's the thing with Wayne with players like this, where for whatever reason he brings out the best of them, or they have full buy-in for the message that he preaches once they have these meetings?
It's his aura and it's his track record, and he actually cares. I don't think Josh Schuster's ever had a coach that cares about him. They've always just thought talent, let's get the talent out of him. We don't really care about the person. It's a
tough thing to say.
I'm saying that most coaches don't really give a fuck about you. Come on, man.
So that's why
they care about the talent. They go, Josh Schuster, win us games, please. Blah blah blah. Don't give a shit about like cultivating your character and all this kind of stuff. How's your family going? How's your life? You know, like everything like that. When a coach cares, like Wayne Bennett cares, you start to care. You care a bit more about your performance and what you're putting in, right? Like if he's putting that much energy into you and caring about you and trying to bring, you're bringing you into the office, going and say, not lecturing you, but hey, how's your dad?
Yeah,
How's-
not talking
how's your
about
family?
video, not video.
How's your family? How's your brother, man?
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah.
How's your life? How's your mum? How's everything like? And you're like, fuck, he cares. He genuinely cares. Like me, him and I still have conversations about stuff.
Yeah.
He's the one who got me into coaching. He's the one who's got me in this position right now. Back yourself, big boy. He knows there's a space there. He always knew there was a space there for me in the game and to do what I'm doing now. It's not a fluke.
Yeah.
You know, like, but he gives you confidence because he knows and he cares. You know what I mean? And it's just that's the way he rolls. And you just got to trust what he says. And if he's bringing him in, he sees talent, right?
For sure. Everyone
sees talent, but it's about getting the talent out.
What position is he going to play?
Yeah, I think he plays 5'8". I think he put Cody Walker at half.
Fuck, because they've already got. So they brought that Lewis Dodd kid from St Helens. They've got Jack Whiten as an option. People have tossed up, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Latrell moving to 6 because Jai Gray is the Trey Fuller sort of type. That
I think Latrell gets ridiculously fit this year and just plays fullback and kills everyone.
I think that's most likely.
And I think maybe Schuster ends up at 14.
I think so.
Yeah.
I like
when I think about that,
yeah,
Dodd needs to prove himself.
Yeah.
Still got Walker's still one of the best 5'8" in the comp. You got Whiten. What they need to strengthen up is that middle.
They've also struggled on the edge as the back rowers too. So do you reckon he can get super fit and become
fucking oath? But he's not a good defender. But Wayne can make you a good defender.
Yeah.
Make you accountable, right? You know, that's all he needs. He just needs to learn. He's young, man. He's 23 years old.
Yeah.
Already played 50 games. You know, like touted as the next big thing. A lot of hoopla, all this sort of shit. Hey, not anymore. Not anymore. You got to prove yourself again. And what a club to prove yourself again at South and with Wayne Bennett at the helm.
And a 1 year deal.
And 1 year deal. Back yourself, son.
Yeah.
And then he'll get rewarded.
Yeah.
If he puts in the preseason, comes back in good shape, which he should and he will. And he's been waiting in the wings for a bit. He's had a year off. Then he'll understand. Bit of gratitude, bit of perspective.
Yep.
And he'd be like, okay, let's get serious.
Yeah, I think it's a good fit. There's only 2 coaches that I wanted Shuey to play for after he was finished up at Manly.
Number 1.
OG, triple OG, quadruple OG.
And Craig.
And double OG.
Yeah.
Or future quadruple OG, Craig Bellamy.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the only 2 coaches that
And
I
I just think he'd
coach.
suit it better under Wayne because Belly
Would hammer him.
he
would,
ruin his soul.
Yeah. Wayne
will coddle him and give him tough love and give him confidence and just fill him with everything and just like love him and like he'll love Wayne and then that's what he needs.
Yeah. Belly would pump him into the ground and if he was strong enough.
He's a young kid and he's just a different sort of cat, you know what I mean? And Wayne knows that sort of stuff and I'm glad that's going to be a great signing.
Yeah. Awesome. Kicking off, Sharks versus Cowboys. Both games are at Allianz Stadium too, by the way. This one is on Friday, 7:50 p.m. The Sharks welcome back. Jesse Ramian is listed amongst the reserves as he looks to return. Ramian will be given until later in the week to try to prove his fitness. But other than that, that's the same 17 from last week. Braden Hamlin Uele is also 18th man. As for Cowboys, Todd Payton has the luxury of naming the same 17 that got the job done. Jackson Purdue has always been thereabouts for the team as well, and Thomas McKaylee is the next man up. Chad Townsend, Braden Burns, and Tom Chester all a part of the extended squad. But
nice.
I haven't heard much out of the Cowboys camp about anyone really struggling. They'll be humming. They'll be feeling good. Let's break this game down in a bit of detail, mate. So go back up to the top here. Kalen Ponga got a lot of credit and deservedly so for his efforts against the Cowboys. Scotty Drinkwater was pretty good as well in that game, mate. Like he's got some
X factor, mate.
You know what they are with the Cowboys? I don't think there's a clear superstar in their team, but there's a whole bunch of 8.5 sort of talents like Tommy Dearden.
When you talk superstar, you're talking Kalen Ponga,
Nathan, Cam Munster.
But you've got stars lit through that whole side.
All right, so let's break this down a touch, right? In terms of superstars, do you reckon there's probably about maybe 10 superstars in the game?
Yeah,
and then there's a whole bunch that are the next level down. And I reckon the Cowboys got about 4 or 5 of them.
They got they got 8 Origin players.
Drinkwater. You could argue, he's getting a little bit older now, but Tommy Dearden is an ascending player. Ruben Cotter's definitely up there. Jeremiah Nanai. Jason Tomlolo is getting a bit old now, but he was one of those premier elite players for a long time. They've got a good team and roster, the Cowboys.
If they don't get to the prelim, they'll be very disappointed because I reckon they'll be backing themselves. But if I'm the Sharks, man, I'll be like, you know what? I'm going through the front door. I think they averaged on like some 45 to 50 metres a set. They were allowing Newcastle to do that. I know KP played good, but their forward pack, Newcastle's forward pack showed up. They showed up and showed out. You know what I mean? So they were just going bang, bang, just front door. Ramian's going to be doing that off the back fence. Mulatalo, Katoa, Talakai, and then add the middles, right?
You know who had some joy? Both Fletcher Sharp and Greg Marzio in that game.
In the middle, yeah. And
Plus one scoot carries.
Look what Cronulla do. Look what they're predicated
That's
on.
their bread and butter.
Their back five, love it.
Yeah.
And then you got a bit of football, you know, with on the edges was NICHO, Wilton, yeah. So he runs really good lines out there on that left edge. Braden Trindle, like they got a team. They got a team that can really upset the Cowboys because they play this fucking boring sort of hard-nosed smash mouth football, and then, you know, like they completed a high set at a high rate, and that's all they got to do: kick, chase, and get. And all Nico needs to do is just move the ball around to the right angles for the big plays, kick to the corners, kick, chase.
I think this game is going to be. It's going to be. Less than a margin of less than a try. This is going to be so close. I can see this game going all the way down to the wire. Couple of big question marks. Look, Nicho Hynes copped a lot of the criticism recently. Him versus Tom Dearden, both played Origin. X-factor players, Jake Clifford, Braden Trindle. I think when you look at the seasons that these two guys have had, Jake Clifford's come on late and playing good footy. His long kicking game could be a big plus. But Braden Trindle, this is a huge game for Trindle, I think.
You know, it's going to be a big game, I think, for Trindle as well, but Brayley.
Yeah.
Brayley, a lot of football comes off that guy. When he runs, when they get a quick play the ball, he's out. And you just got to go follow with him. And that's where Will Kennedy comes into play. And that's when they all push through the ruck, you know, and they can score tries from anywhere when that guy's on. When they're not, and that's where North Queensland have to fucking toughen up that ruck. They've got to steal that ruck up. You've got Ruben Cotter, Taumalolo, McLean, and Robson. They're all like elite middles.
Oh, I forgot Robson too. I didn't even mention
elite.
Robson before.
You're talking elite middles. Yeah. Like you know what I mean? You don't have one person there that hasn't played at the highest level. You know, McLean's had a couple of rep jerseys. Yeah, Robson, Taumalolo's been the best forward in the world. Cotter's up there. He's a top 5 forward in the world at the moment.
Lukey was part of the extended squad.
You shouldn't be able to go through that middle as easy as Newcastle did.
What about the matchup in the back row? You've mentioned already. Lukey, Nanai versus Wilton and Nicola. That's going to be a doozy.
I mean, whoever's on that left edge, I think it'll be who's the left edge? Left edge for Cronulla.
Wilton. Wilton versus Nanai, and you've got Nicola versus Lukey.
Fuck. Yeah. And I think Nicola's going to go at Lukey because he's low centre of gravity. Lukey's about 6'4", bang, under the ball. He's got good tackle tech lines. He's got really good line speed. You want to shut Lukey down, man. He's been their dude.
You're right. And Nicola's also got the low centre of gravity to worry Lukey.
He would worry me if I was spotting him up. I don't like a little bit of footwork, but because he runs those outside in lines, he needs to start move. Maybe on out ball on Nicola because he'll be coming outside in. Maybe just like move with the ball, like just tell Braden Trindle, I'll start on the outside and then move out. A little bit of an out ball. Show him that you're just not one dimensional when he's running those outside inside shoulders, right? Because Nico will come from there and just jam him, right? So I just think he needs to play a little bit of chess with him. Little angles, little out balls, little in balls, out balls, early ball. You know, just start mixing it up a little bit. You can't just run those like one-dimensional lines because they're pretty good in defence. And Nico is a really good defender. Maybe he runs a really good decoy. No, guess who's out the back? Nicho Hynes, play short side, boom, boom, boom. You know, especially if they get to the left post and you got Lukey there. You got bang, bang, the little block shape. You just want Nico coming in, bang, out the back, boom, boom, boom. They can make some joy. Might not score some tries, but I know he has to be accounted for, Lukey. He has to be accounted for.
I think we're going to see a lot of lead runners hitting this game early on. A lot of conservative footy, play short, play early, wrap short sides, and see if you can get a middle down the short side, or just create momentum. And
I'd like Lukey just to get the ball one off the ruck first hit up.
Just get an early touch.
But then if you get like that, if you're going to have a play, go out the back straight away.
Yeah, okay.
So you can get Nico to go, fuck,
Yeah.
You know, and then you want to catch him sort of coming in, maybe checking and releasing real quick.
Yeah.
Then Lukey hits that hole.
Yeah, card.
Do you know what I mean? Just, there's little things. There's little things like that.
Likes dropping him under
there's
well.
little things. You know, drop him under. Early ball. Try and inside hips on NICHO. Get on his outside. You know what I mean? Like so, you got to play a little bit of football, but early on. Just fucking tuck it under your arm, run as hard as you can. But like, just say when you get from the, you know, just say right side of the post or even in the middle of the field, just pass. And what do? Like you either give him early ball or you just let him run a decoy because NICHO's going to try and jam him all the time. So he's got to play smart, wait, check, release. That's what Nanai's got to do on that side as well, man.
Yeah.
When Nanai's always, he wants to make a big play all the time. Like time where the KPP went through, he's trying to make the play out the back.
Yeah.
The safe play is you just come up with a line, check on KPP, and if it goes out the back, you go out the back. But your main man is Pierce Paul.
He's trying to make.
He cannot make a 10 meter. You can't run into a 10 meter fucking gap. It was so easy, and they scored off that, and they ended up nearly winning the game from that. So
if Jesse Ramian doesn't play, Val Holmes against Sifatalakai on the right.
Man, that just fucking cancels. They cancel each other out, don't they?
Well, yeah, of course, the way that Talakai can create space with his
What's up with Ramian?
Ramian, I'm not...
Calf or a hamstring?
I'm not too sure. Let me...
check that out, Lukey, please.
What did they say? List amongst the reserve. Ankle injury. He's coming back from it. Yeah, he injured his ankle at the back end of the Manly game.
I think he'll be fine. It's a big game. This is all in. I think.
But at the moment, he's
knowing that
squad.
He could have got they're going to get the week off because they finished fourth. Take that off. You'll be right next week.
Blake Brayley, Cam McInnes versus Reece Robson, Ruben Cotter through the middle.
I love that.
It's a good matchup.
The dog of all dogs, Ruben Cotter. He's a fucking animal, mate. McInnes is an animal, but he's got nothing on. He ain't no Ruben Cotter.
Yeah,
he ain't no Ruben Cotter,
and that's respectfully
and that's respectful
because we like McInnes.
Because Ruben Cotter is a fuck. He's the guy. He's the best. He's the best lock in the game at the moment. He's fucking unreal.
Yowie,
him and Yowie. I don't know. It depends what you want.
No.
What do you want from you? You know, like
it depends your style of.
He bangs, mate. He doesn't stop. He goes. His head's in your face. He's a fucking animal.
He's a 90s 2000 lock.
You know, like Robson hits you. Robson hits you like a truck.
Yeah.
Brayley, he's got great tackle tech, but he's giving away about 10 to fucking 15 kilos in the middle. So that's going to be good.
Robson
played good last week.
Robson and Cotter are throwback 9s and 13s. They're not the new age 9s, are they? Like they want to get you in the dogfight through.
Yeah, they want a dogfight. I think last week the Cowboys probably needed that game to go, okay, fucking hell, we've got to man up in the middle, boys. That's the whole talk.
You're really worried about their middle,
I worry about their middle. They're averaging 40 to 50 metres a set.
Yeah.
That's not good enough. You know, let me just say go back to the Bulldogs-Manly game. There was a lot of sets where Manly made 22 metres, 25 metres.
Yeah, true.
You need to do that. Yeah. You need to, just fucking circle the wagons and kick them in the corner and just fucking go at them and try and do that. And when they were just say they were getting a turnover, just say 10 or 15 metres out, they'd end up in an attacking kick. You can't let that happen, mate. Because Cronulla will fucking ball the shit out of you and keep completing their sex, kick to the corners.
It's their bread and butter.
They've got Mulatalo, they've got X Factor. They can score tries, man. They can score tries.
You think about some of the games where they've blown teams off the park, it starts in the middle and then they get drawn in the edges, but they want to blast you through the middle.
Kafusi's their main dude in the middle, right?
Yeah, he's been good.
You know, so Taumalolo needs to fucking take care of him.
Dolph McLean, Kafusi versus Tomalolo. Let's go to the bench. Daniel Atkinson, Jack Williams, Royce Hunt, Tom Hazelton, Sam McIntyre, Harrison Edwards, Finney Fuiaki, Griffin Neem. I can see a world in which Jackson Purdue plays in this game.
Fuiaki made a difference when he come on.
Yeah.
Did Nanai get hooked or was he tired?
Bit of both.
It was after that play.
Yeah,
he was just tired.
He was going hard.
He front loaded and he was fucked. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that if he just doesn't make mistakes in defence. He was good. He was good. And I think he's only going to get better. He's just one of those players who just needs to keep playing. And the more he plays, the better he gets. It's when he has these little setbacks and just has about 2 or 3, 4 weeks off, he comes back. It takes him a while to get back. Right? And I think this is perfect for him to come back and go, all right, I'm back, boys. I can get about 60, 70 minutes out. Then put Fuiaki on there and just to fucking speed that ruck
everything up.
And he just hits hard. He just, it's just like, I don't want to run near that guy, right? He just got perfect tackle tech. He's going to hit you, right? So I just think it's going to be a real close game. It's going to be the forwards are going to cancel each other out. It's just going to be a tit for tat game, which usually happens in these last 6 teams. They're just going to bash each other. it's just coming out with the right plays at the right time. The kicking game, that's where the Nicho Hines are going to come in. That's where the Deardens are going to come in. You know, Jake Clifford, you know, he's probably the one that's under the most pressure. You know, he comes in and out of games sometimes.
Clifford?
Yeah. You know, he had that great first game when he got his spot. He hasn't really done that much after that.
The Cronulla Sharks are $1.60 with the TAB. North Queensland at $2.35. The line is 3.5. Who wins, Cronulla or North Queensland?
Cronulla.
Ooh.
No, North Queensland. No. I was thinking North Queensland. I just said Cronulla. I just think North Queensland because I just think they've got better players in some key positions. I like the Valentine Holmes. I like Taulagi. I love Felt. I like their back line. I like their edge back rows. I like their forwards. I know their forwards. Meetings all week in the middle is just like, we got to fucking steal up. Got to take care of Kafusi. We've got to go at Rudolph. We can't let Brayley run. You know, we can't let their back five make 40 metres in 4 hit-ups because they're going to come at us, boys. You know, we've got to stop the bleeding there. We've got to get up, tack in numbers, underhooks, boom, drive them back. It's going to be a big effort because they've got big boys, man. They tire out.
I think it's as even as a matchup as you can find at this time of the year. I love the 3.5 with the Cowboys because I think it's going to be a really close game. My X factor and swingman in choosing the Cowboys, Scotty Drinkwater. I think he can determine this game negatively or positively. I think if he has chances his arm, double cutout, tries to hit Felt over the top, it can go the wrong way for Drinky in games. But if he plays... I thought he did it really well last week against Kalen, where Kalen was firing, but he still didn't overdo it, but come up with some really big plays. If he can replicate that, then the Cowboys beat the Sharks.
I think so too.
All right, the Roosters versus Sea Eagles, Saturday, 7:50 p.m. This is the Levels Cup. Roosters legend Willie Mason versus Sea Eagles legend Justin Horo. Veteran prop Jared
I can't believe it's not a thing.
Hey?
I can't believe it's not a thing. It's a thing for us.
Roosters prop and OG, quadruple OG, Jared Wadia-Hargreaves is back from suspension, a huge boost for the Roosters. Victor Radley is a part of the extended bench as he is trying to return from a fractured scapula.
Can you come back from that?
I don't think he can,
Fucking
mate.
tough
and he's not going to be the best version of himself.
I mean, he's going to have to make a selfless decision. And if he's not, I mean, if anyone's going to play, it's going to be Victor Radley. I'm not sure if he can needle that thing. I'm not sure if he can just play through the pain. Mate, your scapula holds everything intact. You know what I mean?
In 2013 in the grand final, Boydie did his high ankle sprain syndesmosis and missed only like 3 or 4 games and played in the grand final. Like these guys, these Roosters back rows,
are built different, mate.
They're renowned for fucking doing shit like this against us.
I know they have local anaesthetic and they can jab them and everything like that, but you cannot jab a scapula.
Yeah.
I don't know how bad it is, but I'm backing him to play.
Fractured scapula, pretty bad.
I don't know how you do that.
Nat Butcher, he goes back to the bench. He missed where he will join Siwa Wong, Spencer Leniu and Terrell May.
Siwa Wong. I like what he's been doing the last couple of weeks.
Siwa will look really good in the middle last week. And I was watching that game going, I wonder what's happened with Siwa this year. Remember at the start of the year, he was our guy. He was in your starting back row. Yeah. And
I think if he just keeps progressing like he is, he'll be all right. But like he just
sort of fell out of favour a little bit, didn't he? Satilli boot him out.
Concentrate on his rap career.
Yeah.
Didn't work out, you know?
Satilli beat him out because Satilli missed some time and then he got into this position and then Satilli come back and sort of beat him out of that swingman position.
Yeah, Satilli was always that dude too. He just need to get his body right. He's been playing outstanding. I just think this is going to come down to how could be the arrival of Mount Paseka. Ooh. He needs to go at Hargreaves.
Okay, here we go.
This could be Hargreaves' last game, and he's going to fucking go at Paseka that hard and to test his will and try and break his will.
All right, good, because Manly are 17, same 17, they got the job done last week, so it's huge.
And Lodgy and Hargreaves means he needs to fucking follow exactly what Hargreaves is doing, but just not as wild. You know?
I know you're fired up. Let's work our way down to the big boys. Let's start at the top, the 2 number ones. The legend fullbacks of this era, Tom Trbojevic, busted, shoulder, clearly bothering him. Teddy.
Fucking great. One of his best years.
I don't think it's been spoken about enough. He's been
statistically one of his best years.
Statistically, he's been unreal. Yeah. He's been ever present. I think what helped him, although he would have been super disappointed not playing an Origin series, has helped Teddy, because I think Teddy at this point. This time last year, Teddy looked banged up. Yeah, he still looks fresh. He looks good. He looks good. And Teddy's these two fullbacks.
There's a silver lining, Teddy. He'd probably prolong his career for another 3 or 4 years instead of playing Origin and just as I said, like there's only one anomaly, and that's Cam Smith that keep playing at that level. But Teddy looks fresh. He looks motivated. He's playing his best football. But will it be enough? Will it be enough? Like I really would have loved to see a full strength Roosters outfit, because I thought they were the only team individually and collectively as a team to beat the two big dogs. But now they just come right down to the pack, and it's just they're using the bench players. Kind of watching off the bench. I like Brandon Smith starting. I don't like Sandon Smith in the side. I like obviously Sam Walker. But the fullbacks, Tom Trbojevic is okay. He's enough. He's doing enough. How did he get? He got tested the most on the weekend, and he's still ended up coming with that magic play.
How much can he improve in 5-6 days?
Heaps.
Yeah?
Yeah. If he just had to get through.
Okay. That was the hardest test?
Yeah. He just had to get through. I think you'll be going, okay, well, fucking hell. It works. You're going to jab him up again, and he's just going to have to go as hard as he can. He's got 2-3 games max left in 2024. He's going to go front load everything. They need him more than anything. Just being where you got to account for him wherever he is, right? And that's his presence is so big from just him being on the field. Whatever side he's on, they're going to stay there. We'll put another number there. If he's on that side, they'll put another number there. They're going to try and get at Sandon Smith as much as they can. Their back rolls are running good lines. Ola Kawatsu's going good, but like Tommy Trbojevic has been outstanding all year. I just think he needed that one bit of a rest. He got it. Now he's going to have to go against the Roosters, and they're going to kick to him and try and jam him up and fucking ragdoll him back. But he's 6'4" and 108 kilos of muscle.
Speaking of 6'4" and above, Daniel Tupou up against Lehigh Hopewadi and Dom Young up against Tommy Talau. Couple of young ascending good players for the Manly Seagulls.
I still need to see more work from Dom Young, man. I need him to get it. You need the ball. I don't think he realises how big and strong he is.
Penrith ripped into him.
Yeah, I know, because when he kept running sidewards, right?
He did,
every time he was running direct, boom.
Yep.
Good luck trying to stop that man.
You're right. He had about 50-50. There was a couple where he ran into him, got licked.
And then those times where he ran 100 metres across field and he just got those balls away, lucky, because he would have ruined those sets. Do you know what I mean?
But it did work out for them. They did get a break off
but then he did that, and then it's just, it was, he needs to just be real north-south, you know? Run sideways when you can get around those guys and try and create a man. But when you're coming out of yardies, mate, you got to go at him. You've got to go at him. And I think he probably will. I think he'll back himself against Manly's middles, I reckon.
Compared to Penrith, yeah.
Penrith's middles mentally get you. Yeah. They talk, they hustle, they fucking talk their shit. You know what I mean? They just got that mad swag. You're looking at Leota, you're looking at Fish. They just got that fucking bring it on. You know what I mean? You don't really want to, then you got Kenny just jamming the shit out of you.
Jakey will lick him though.
Yeah, he will. Yeah. But like Paseka won't.
Yeah.
Right? Brown, Lodge. But the only guy is Jakey. So I want to see a big game from him. I just want to see him do and play to his ability. I know we can finish tries. I know we can do everything, but your main part is coming out of yardage and helping your boys get out so your middles can get back on the fourth tackle.
Joseph Manu said he's ready for the challenge for Tolu Kola.
Yeah, man, he'll take care of that.
It's going to be a good battle.
Well, Kola's 85, 90%, you reckon?
I reckon Joseph Manu hasn't fully recovered from that broken hand as well, too. He hasn't been at his best. Both guys are a little bit busted, and it'll be a good matchup.
His footwork's been great, everything, but that, the fucking broken hand, man. Yeah. You're not coming, he's not getting that separation like he used to.
Yeah.
He's still playing good football. I don't think everyone's trying to have a little bit of a crack at him because not a crack at him. Just saying,
but just his standards.
He needs to play better because he set the standard right up here as the best centre. He's still a top 5 centre in the game, still one of the best. He wants to leave the game on a high. It's going to be a real good competition out there because Cole's a good defender as well. And he just if Cole doesn't score tries and he takes care and he shuts down Joey Manu, that's a win.
Yeah.
He needs to look at it like that.
Keary, Smith, Brooks. Keary and Sandon Smith versus Luke Brooks and Daly Cherry Evans.
Yeah, well, Sandon Smith needs to show us what if he can really
huge
play or
game
not.
for Sandon.
If he can really play or not. You know, like I thought he worked well with Sam Walker. I don't know how he works well with Keary. I mean, look at last week and go get rid of that game. He hasn't played first grade for a while. He's here now, and he'll show us whether he belongs.
He's proved.
Just play. Don't overplay your hand. Just let Keary take care of it. You just run, get the ball, run when you have to, turn the guys under, give early ball to Crichton, do all this stuff, whatever edge he's playing on, I'm not sure. Make your tackles, get to your kicks, kick chase, do all the little things that the middles want you to do. That's it. Don't overplay your hand. Run it when you can. You know, I mean, like we're not expecting a fucking Jonathan Thurston level performance here. We're just expecting you to just get through the game. Like I'm expecting a big game from Keary.
Yeah, same.
DCE and Brooks.
I think Brooksy was sneaky good last week.
They're good.
Sneaky good.
They're good.
That pass for Cherry.
You better account for Luke Brooks, right? If you're lazy in the middle, he's going to skin you. He always could. He's quick. He's fast. He's strong.
He had
footwork.
He had 2 runs that stood out that didn't lead to breaks, but they were quick play the balls, and it created a little bit of momentum on the 4th tackle.
And that's all you need.
Yeah,
that's all you need because you're always poking his head through because he's a smart runner. Look at the quads on him. He probably squat about 260 easy. So throws a lightning ball, short ball, but he can get found out in defence.
Yep.
All right. And the right side back row will be Tupanua.
Yep.
Runs really good lines there, so we need to account for him. They're going to be throwing those little block plays, those late little sweeps, all that kind of stuff, and it'll be at Brooks.
Because
Brooks turns in or he turns out. So it's going to be up to the left back row will be Lawton, will it?
Yes.
Lawton. So Lawton needs to take care of that. They need to communicate a lot better because they're going to get a lot of traffic. So it'll be pretty even, but they've both got great kicking games, DCE and Brooks. I think I'll give them the nod.
Olakwatu versus Angus Crichton.
Yeah, I fucking love that. I love it. I love it. I think Angus got done by Liam Martin last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Liam Martin points.
Yep.
Liam Martin points. Not a knockout, but points.
Not knockout, but he just took care of it. You know, his first 30 minutes set the tone.
Olakwatu and Kicks split decision.
Yeah, that was split. That was a split decision. I thought Kicks played outstanding. He left everything on the field. But Olakwatu, that's a different man. That's a different beast. And he's on.
He can cement a bit of a legacy in the finals run.
Yeah, he can go out. I mean, like Crichton's had a big year.
You know what Olakwatu could do? Remember the question marks around Kicks 2 or 3 years ago before they'd won their comps? A lot of people thought big body,
can't get through that
really,
many minutes.
really good regular season, doesn't play big minutes. Then he become a champion and it changed the narrative of the way we view Kicks.
Olakwatu can play 80 minutes. He can hit harder than anyone. So if Crichton wants to do a little overs and get it Olakwatu, he's going to eat that left shoulder. Ask Kurt Morin. See that? Remember that hit?
I did not. Curtis Morin isn't fucking.
I know, but hey, he can still get. He can still get you. He'll get you because he dips and he fucking smacks, and they're legal.
Yeah. He got someone really good on the weekend.
Yeah, I know.
Morin.
I think it was Morin again.
Was it Morin again? No.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but he gets.
I think he got Connor Tracy.
He'll get someone. He'll get someone. Yeah, and they just go missing. Yeah. Not missing, they just where'd he go? He's on his back. You know what I mean? So I know Crichton's going to be wary of the 11 on the other side there. Yeah. So who's he protecting? He's protecting DCE.
DCE is with Olakwatu.
And DCE is a very, very fucking like his defense when he comes up, he tries to shut it down. He'll try and shut it down so they'll bring Crichton underneath. Everyone's got to work, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Both Keary and Cherry both do it. They shoot up, they try to send the attack back through the middle, but they can also both leave their edges vulnerable if they don't make the play.
Yeah, and then you turn Crichton under now. And that's where Olakwatu just needs to keep square. And he'll probably end up running into him. And then you can really set your feet on Crichton, and then that's because you've got to hit him because he's strong as hell.
Jared versus Paseka.
Oh, I love that. Paseka needs to takes his person. You've got to take it personal, man. You know, there's no the fear factor in the game of an old school guy like Hargraves, he's going to hit you hard. And there's no fights, there's no shoulder charges, no cheap shots. You know, if he hits you around the head, he's going to get sent for 10. So when you're 6'6", 120 kilos, and you can move like Paseka, you got to take that shit You got to take it on. The whole team, like, he's their guy.
Jared's going to hit you.
Jared's going to fucking get you. So
he's going to try to come in third man as much as he can and finish off a tackle.
Real,
he's
like
also
ribsy too. Like.
He's going to get some fucking bumpers on in and around your face when he's on top of you. Paseka's got to be ready for that.
Everything, and give it back.
Yeah.
Give it back because, as I said, on the other side of it, you can't get sent off either. I mean, like, you don't just do grubby shit or anything like that, but like you can play as hard as you can.
It's finals footy.
You can't fight.
I'll let him play a little bit more.
You can't like get up and have a fight.
Yeah.
So what are you worried about? You know what I mean? Like Hargraves he'll go to he sits on the fence with everything.
He'll take it.
Lodgie's the one that's going to be going at Hargraves, I reckon.
I think so too.
I think because Lodgie and Hargraves, they would have been trying to kill each other at the Roosters. And I reckon personally, they don't like each other.
I don't think it ended well, did it?
No,
I think there was a lot of respect for Lodge and Hargraves while he was there, but then it didn't end well, and then there was some words.
Hargraves wouldn't have respected him. You know, so like that you'll see that in the first 5 minutes.
Ooh,
I can't wait. That's going to be like, just going to watch that game in Hargraves' eyes. He knows it's could be possibly his last game. And I'm interested to see like what happens like when, you say they're getting beat by 12 or 14 and it's 2 minutes to go.
Either way?
No, like Hargraves is getting beat.
Yeah.
He goes, he's getting beat and then he just goes out the way he comes in. He just fucking levels someone. 10 weeks.
Starts
and then he goes over Super League and fucking has 10 weeks off.
On the bench, Siwa Wong, Spencer Leniu, Nat Butcher, Terrell May, Ben Trbojevic, Josh Alloway, Ethan Bullimore, Nathan Brown. Both these two teams, they don't have much versatility.
Don't worry about the Manly hasn't got a big name bench,
Spencer,
right? But
Spencer.
They haven't got a Spencer Leniu.
Yeah.
Fuck me, Bullimore's been going good.
Bullimore's good.
That leg speed around the ruck, he's got some talent and he's going to test you because they're big and strong and they're fast. I'd worry about him. I'll be doing a lot of video on him this week because you don't really know what he's doing. Yep. You don't know what he's doing. He just gets on where he's playing back row or front row or wherever. He's just in the middle and he just goes. Quick play the ball, boom. He's done. He makes a fair few line breaks every year. Most games, half line breaks, maybe some clear line breaks. Pretty mental.
I reckon he's probably, from memory, he scored about 3 or 4 20-metre plus tries.
He's just good leg speed.
Supported through the middle.
He's a perfect bench player. Spencer Leniu, do we start him? No, probably not.
No, not in this game.
Only because Lindsay's back and Jared's back. You just got to, Spencer just gets on after 20 minutes and just fucking tries to just destroy that whole pack.
The Sydney Roosters are $1.55 favourites with the TAB. The Manly Seagulls are $2.45. The line is plus 5.5.
Jeez. I think Manly.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's only because of
Sam Walker, Cheese, Radley.
And like I know Radley is going to play and what level of Radley's going to come out, and I'm not sure if he's going to play, but there's going to be like, are you good to play? And he's going to go, yeah, but then you're going to do some tests and everything like that. He's a tough SOB, mate.
Would you,
I don't know. And he's going to have to make a selfless decision, and he will.
Would you, as a player and as a coach for the Sydney Roosters, prefer Radley to give it a go and then potentially, if it does cop a knock, then we don't see him and that would be deflating? Or do you just want 17 fit players?
I want to do a test on him where it's just fucking Hargraves and shit running at him, and he would want that. He doesn't want to be fucking. He doesn't want that first hit up and then be done. Yeah. You'd rather do it at training.
Yeah, okay.
So I think that, and the Roosters aren't dumb, and he's not dumb either. No. Like he can't needle a scab.
No,
I don't know how you break that shit.
Yeah,
but Victor Radley hits like a brick wall.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's gonna be some great footy, man. I just like, I don't know, like. I think Manly's got that bit of an aura about him. I think Tommy's got that, X factor. I think Kohler X factor, Ola Kawatu. I think Paseka's going to go fucking, come on. I've got to fucking go. Because they're looking at him going, bro, when are you going to arrive? You got everything. You got rep jerseys waiting for you, son.
Yeah.
You got rep jerseys. They go at a 35-year-old Hargraves, for fuck's sake. Do it. I'm begging you to do it. I want to see how you go, mate. If you're going to go against one of the dudes, the hardest dude, I don't give a fuck. You're not going against 2013 Hargraves.
Yeah.
You're going against 2024 Hargraves. 2013 Hargraves will eat you alive. But No, you go at him.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
But yeah, don't brag about the shit if you do get over the top of him because he's 35, right? Get it done. And I think Manly wins.
All right. My Levels Bets Friend special is still getting done by the traders, but it is Ruben Garrick to score in the first 60 minutes and a Manly win with the start. So we'll get you that. Keep an eye on socials. As always, we want everyone to be playing safe during this finals time. So if you need free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.